Hello, good morning, welcome back. So, it's the 1st of July, so it's time for Junk Journal July. Now, those of you that don't know, this is hosted by Meg Journals, and the hashtag for it is Junk Journal July. I did do this last year, but I think I did it mainly off camera. And recently, when I was doing my Tim Holtz journal, the flip-flop envelope one of my subscribers commented to say it would be nice to have a tutorial on fabric covers for journals because she's never done one. And I thought, do you know what, actually this is probably the perfect time to do it. So I've got two different pieces of fabric and a little picture. We'll put them over there for now. This is the list of prompts, one for each day of the month. And if you go to Meg Journals on YouTube, you'll find a link to download this, and then you can print it out and use it. Now, I've decided, just because I can, and I've not done one for a very long time, I'm going to do basically a square journal. As many of you will recognise, this is an Amazon envelope, and all I've done is just cut it to the size that I want. Okay, now my papers, these were all A4 as normal. I folded some in half as usual, and I folded others to a square with a bit. So the A4, no, not the A4, from the A4 I have folded 1, 2, 3.5 inches, and that's what's given me the square. Okay, I've used 16 A4 sheets to give me 32 pages, and you'll see I've gone half square, half slim of the square, square, half slim of the square, and then we're at the middle. Okay, now having said that, I think I want to change that because I need a square at the front. So I'm just going to change that round that way, like so, because I want to put this on that very first page. So I'm going to do that first of all, and then I will have all of my prompts inside my journal, to act as a reminder, but also obviously 16 sides, which is 8 sheets, gives us 32. We only want 31, so it makes sense to me to have the prompts as the opening page once you open the cover. So as you can see, I'm just using oh sorry, I've got a bit of a tickle today. I'm just using standard glue stick because it's paper to paper, nothing complicated or difficult there. Just going to try and get it central and get that stuck on there like that. Okay, so that is actually the very first page of this journal for Junk Journal July, and that will just sit on there like that. Okay, so when we open it up, the very first thing we see is the prompts. Okay, so let's look at using fabric to cover a journal. So I've got a piece of bright red fabric purely because I want to use this really cool chicken and poppy. Look at that, how awesome is that? I want to use that for my spine, so I'm using the strong red. Okay, so the way that I do this, now you can iron your fabric if you want to, make it nice and soft, nice and flat. I'm not bothered about that because I'm going to be stretching it. Just ensure that the fabric is about an inch bigger all the way round. So first things first, let's cut off this stitch seam because I don't need that. Okay, get rid of that. Now I'm going to put it like that. So I've got very roughly an inch, might be a little bit more, might be a little bit less. It really doesn't matter. You just need to make sure you've got enough to give you a good turnage. Okay. And I'm just going to cut on that, or tear on that fold line, because it makes sense to me. Get rid of that piece. Oops. Okay. I've got some glitter there for some reason. Right, so this is now sitting, as you can see, quite nicely in there. Just want this last sort of inch on this side. Okay. Okay, job done. So, I always try to make any printed matter go on the inside, because when we put paper on it, it covers better than when we put fabric on it. I mean, this is quite a dark fabric, but you can still see a bit of the print coming through. If that bothers you, then obviously you can paint that white, but I'm actually going to glue this side and make this my outside. Okay, so here's my fabric. Here is my fabric glue. This is the one that I'm always on about. And I'm just literally going to start that side. I'm doing little swirly motions all the way around, across. I say swirly motions, I lost my motion, didn't I? Little swirlies all the way around the edge, and then through the middle as well. Now this is almost empty, so that's why this is getting a little bit problematic now. Obviously, if you've got Fabri-Tac, you want to use Fabri-Tac, that's absolutely fine. I like this glue, and that's why I use this one. But as you can see, yes, basically gone. Okay, so then just smooth that out a bit, because you don't want blotches. And then once you've smoothed your glue all the way round, you can apply your fabric. Sorry, my bracelet's chinking, isn't it? Okay. I hope you're on screen. Let me just have a quick... Yeah, you are. This edge is hanging off slightly, but I think we can live with that. Move that. Lay down your fabric, and then pick your card up and pop it down in the middle like so. Turn it over, smooth it down. You've got to so you just need to give it a bit of a stretch as you pull. And you see, that's why I don't bother ironing, because those creases have basically disappeared now anyway. Got some spare cotton there. Right, okay. Ta-da, as it were. So, I've got a new fabric glue somewhere. Goodness knows what I've done with it. Oh, isn't life fun? Here it is. I got this one from the works because I couldn't find one of these. I'm going to have to go on a better hunt. So, come in. Does help if you take the cap out, Claire. There we go. Get rid of that over there. The thing I like about that is the spreader. I might have to keep the empty bottle just so that I've got the spreader, because that's what I love. Okay, and obviously we're only going around the edges this time, but then you see I like this bit because it brings it flat and you don't get the globby bits. Okay, so I'm going to take that corner in and glue it like that. I'm going to bring this corner in and glue it. Okay, getting a square straight line. I'm doing that to all four corners. Like so. And then I'm going to bring the long side first, start in the middle, exactly the same as I do when I do paper. Turn it round, do the other long side, starting from the middle, pushing out. I have actually, look, got a glob there. That's why you need to make sure that you spread your glue thinly. And then here, I'm just going to rub that on there, and that will glue that bit down. And on here, that glues that bit down. And then again, start from the middle and work out. Yeah, we've got glue line up there. Different glue, you see, this is why I like this one. But hey ho. Okay, come around here, and this is our last two edge corners, and then from the middle I'm pushing out. So it is basically exactly the same as you would do with paper. And then obviously we're going to fold that. Okay, I want a spine of this, so I want a good 1.5 inches, which means obviously I need to double that for front and back, so I want 3 inches. Tear that. Make sure if you've got a pattern that you get your pattern up the right way. I'm just going to put a little snip there so that I get a bit of a tear edge rather than a, oh, she says, rather than a cut one. There we go. I like a bit of fray, as you know. If you don't like the fray, then obviously you would cut it rather than tearing it. Get rid of our extra strings. Okay, so if I line my book up there, I can see that I'm going 1.5 inches from that line, yeah? So I'm going to run, whoops, a little bit of glue here, a little bit, because we don't want it leaking through. Line that back up because I moved it, putting my glue on. I'm just gonna line that up to that yellow line, that prominent line, like so. We can now tear that off. That obviously wasn't enough glue. See, we've gone from too much to not enough. It's ridiculous. Right, let's try that again. 1.5 inches from our yellow line, or our measuring point, whatever you want to say. Now, I'm going to sew this, so, you know, it's not major problem if it's not well stuck down. and then just bring that over, because that's all you've got left width-wise. It doesn't really matter whether it's where you wanted it to be or not, because that's all you've got. Right, I'm now going to open this up, and I'm actually going to trim that off there. And then if we close it back up, we can just pick at that edge and pull some of those strands out. Okay. I feel like this is not sticking very well. I don't like this glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some good old-fashioned PVA. Look, it's not sticking at all. It's rubbish. So PVA, let's be honest, sticks anything. Fabric, wood, you name it, it will stick it. And I bet now it's all going to come through, but anyway. Line that up. And I think that just goes to prove, realistically, that you don't need specialist glues, because look how much better this is sticking. Now it's not stuck there because I didn't go wide enough, but you can actually do this with your finger if you want. That is well and truly stuck. That's not going anywhere. But as I say, I'm going to stitch it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, here we go. Give that a little minute to set up. And then what I thought I was going to do, I've got this lovely little picture. I want this to sit about here, but obviously that looks, I want it to sit about there. It looks a little bit lost sitting there on its own. So now I want to give it some definition. So I'm going to find these. This is what I was looking for. Whenever I cut up a file folder, I always save these bits. Now this bit is lovely, because what we can do is we can pop that on there, and we can pop that over both. So I mustn't use that. Boo, no, Mummy's doing a video. Please be quiet. Do apologise, those of you that have just had a heart attack. Like that. It's not very straight, is it? But you would know by now that I can't cut straight. And then, sorry, I didn't hear any noise outside. I was totally unaware she was going to do that. I'm going to pop that down there like that. I'm going to lay this on there like that. I'm going to find a bit of book page, very probably dictionary. See if by any chance I've still got July in here. H-I-H. Oh, that's upside down. H. Have I still got July? Would be good, wouldn't it? Can you hear the birds outside? They're making a terrible noise. J. Oh, please be here. J-U-G. July. There we go. Perfect. I love it when you can find the right word in the dictionary. So if I take my tear ruler, shush please, Mummy's doing a video. How many times? I'm going to go, I know you probably can't see, but I'm only tearing paper. So I've torn off the top piece, so I start with July, and then I want to work out how much I want. I want probably to the end of junction. So as you can see, this is how I measure. Just turn off the excess white. That is gonna sit there like that. That is gonna sit there like that. But I'm only gonna glue it across there because then we'll have a little pocket. We can make a nice little tag to go in there. So glue, 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 glue. First things first, I'm going to glue up the dictionary page and pop that right on the edge of that piece of, what was that, file folder. Now I think that's hubby coming back, which means Boo's going to get all excited when he opens the door, so be prepared. He's done a wonderful Saturday morning job going to the tip. So I'm going to pop that half on there. I'm going to flick it over. We're going to put glue there and across the bottom and down the side. So having glued just the three sides and obviously that, when we lay that down there, that becomes a pocket. And if you wanted to, obviously you could put a title page there as well. Now that glue is still a little bit wet, so I'll fold it so you can see the front cover, and I'll bring all my pages back, and when that's dry I'll run the sewing machine through it. But the first one was good vibes. Well, I don't know about you, but I always get good vibes from starting a new project. So to me, we have done the 1st of July. I will stitch this, and then having stitched it, I'll find some pretty paper to overlap, which I'll show you tomorrow on day 2. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's answered the fabric question that you had. Look forward to seeing what everybody else is doing during July. Bye bye for now.